Alex stared out at the infinite stretch of stars from the observation deck of the Solaris station. He pressed his forehead against the cold glass, watching the tiny sparkles of distant worlds twinkle in the void. It had been years since he had left Leora behind, yet the memory of that bright summer afternoon on the station lingered vividly in his mind. He could still hear her tiny voice, full of determination and innocence. "Promise me, Alex," she had said, her golden hair catching the light from the station's artificial sun. "Promise me that one day, we will get married." Alex had laughed and ruffled her hair. "I promise," he had said. "No matter where life takes us, I'll come back." Back then, the station had felt like a small world, safe and endless at the same time. Children played in the corridors, laughter echoed through the metallic halls, and humans were slowly learning to live among the stars. It had been a simple life, filled with hope and curiosity, and Alex had never imagined that one day he would have to leave everything behind, including the girl who had been his friend since he could remember. Now, standing on the observation deck years later, Alex realized how much had changed. Solaris Station had grown, expanded beyond recognition. New modules had been added for research, colonization, and trade with Earth. The human population had doubled, and life among the stars was no longer just a dream. It was a reality. Yet, even in this bustling hub of human achievement, Alex felt a hollow ache in his chest. The mission he was about to embark on was dangerous. He had been chosen to explore Epsilon Prime, a distant exoplanet beyond known charts. The journey would take months, perhaps years, and there was no guarantee of survival. The planet was rumored to have resources that could ensure humanity's survival for decades, maybe even centuries. But no one had ever set foot there. Alex's mind wandered back to Leora. She had been the one constant in his childhood, the one person who had believed in him even when everything else seemed uncertain. He wondered if she still remembered the promise they had made. Did it still count, now that so much time had passed? A soft chime interrupted his thoughts. The station's AI, Lyra, appeared as a holographic figure beside him. "Captain Alex," she said, her voice calm and precise. "Your shuttle is prepared for launch. Estimated departure in 15 minutes. Alex nodded silently. "Thank you, Lyra," he said. He turned one last time to look at the stars. Each one was a story, a challenge, a new chance for humanity to prove itself. And yet, among all those stars, he only wished for one connection, the promise he had made to Leora so many years ago. Meanwhile, on the other side of the station, Leora walked through the research modules with a determined stride. She had grown into a brilliant engineer, known for her ability to repair and improve the station's complex systems. Her hair, once golden and wild, was now neatly tied back, and her eyes held the calm focus of someone who had faced challenges and survived. But even as she worked, her thoughts drifted to Alex. She had not seen him in years, and every day she wondered where he was, what he was doing, and if he had remembered their promise. She often imagined him exploring strange planets, facing dangers that humans had never encountered before. Her heart swelled with pride at the thought, Alex, always brave, always determined, always human. Leora paused near the observation window and gazed out at the stars. She imagined him out there, somewhere, looking at the same universe. Did he think of her as she thought of him? Did he remember the promise they had made as children? Her communicator beeped, snapping her out of her reverie. A message from the mission control team flashed on the screen. Captain Alex preparing for departure to Epsilon Prime. Estimated travel: 14 months. Leora's heart skipped a beat. 14 months was a long time, and the mission was dangerous. But she also felt a spark of hope. Maybe one day, when he returned, they could pick up where they had left off. Maybe promises could survive distance, time, and the stars themselves. Back on the observation deck, Alex walked toward the shuttle bay. The corridors of Solaris Station were alive with movement, humans rushing to their work, engineers calibrating systems, children laughing as they ran along the hallways. Everything seemed normal, yet every step Alex took felt heavier than the last. He reached his shuttle and paused, placing a hand on the sleek metallic hull. "I'll be back," he whispered, almost to himself. "I have to be." The shuttle doors closed, sealing him in. The hum of engines began to fill the cabin, a sound that was both familiar and intimidating. He glanced at the navigation panel, where the route to Epsilon Prime glowed brightly. One wrong calculation could send him into the void forever. One misstep could mean the end of the mission, the end of humanity's chance for survival. Yet, amidst the fear, there was determination. Humans had always thrived in impossible conditions, turning challenges into triumphs. That was the spirit he carried with him, the same spirit that had built Solaris Station from scratch, that had made colonies on distant planets possible. Humanity was small in the universe, yes, but clever, resilient, and unyielding. As the shuttle lifted off, Alex looked out at the station one last time. Solaris Station, home of childhood memories, laughter, and a promise made under artificial sunlight. He could almost feel Leora's presence beside him, her smile encouraging him, reminding him that promises mattered. The journey through space was lonely and quiet. Days blended into nights, and the stars outside the window remained constant and indifferent. Alex spent his time reviewing mission protocols, studying the data from distant planets, and running simulations for potential challenges on Epsilon Prime. But even in the routine of preparation, his mind wandered to Leora. He remembered how she used to laugh when he tried to be serious, how she would challenge him to races through the station's corridors, and how her stubbornness had always matched his own. Memories of scraped knees, shared snacks, and whispered secrets made him smile. He realized that the promise he had made wasn't just words, it was a bond, a thread connecting him to someone who had shaped his life in ways he couldn't fully understand yet. Weeks into the journey, Alex encountered the first real challenge. A meteor shower, unexpected and intense, forced him to maneuver the shuttle with precision. Metal groaned under the pressure, alarms blared, and for a moment, he felt the weight of the universe pressing down on him. But he adapted. Humans were survivors. Using his knowledge, intuition, and a touch of daring, Alex guided the shuttle through the storm, emerging on the other side with only minor damage. The incident reminded him why humans could thrive where others might fail. Innovation, courage, and determination were tools no alien environment could take away. As the shuttle continued its voyage, Alex allowed himself a quiet thought. "I'll survive this. I'll return. And I'll keep the promise." Back on Solaris Station, Leora watched the monitors anxiously. The mission had been risky, but she had faith in Alex. She knew he had the skills, the courage, and the human spirit necessary to succeed. But worry gnawed at her heart, mingled with hope and anticipation. In the quiet moments, she spoke to the stars. "Come back to me, Alex," she whispered. "Keep your promise." The station hummed around her, a testament to human achievement and resilience. In the vastness of space, humans were small. Yes, but determined. And somewhere out there, Alex was carrying that determination forward, facing dangers and challenges no one else could, guided by the memory of a childhood promise. The colony on Altera 9 was unlike anything Alex had seen before. The planet's sky shimmered with faint green auroras, and the horizon was lined with jagged, dark mountains that seemed to stretch endlessly. The air inside the colony's biodomes was breathable, thanks to decades of human ingenuity, and the hum of life engines, automated systems, and human voices reminded him that even in the farthest reaches of space, humanity persisted. Alex stepped down from his shuttle, feeling the solid ground beneath him. The mission here was critical, surveying the planet's resources and establishing a permanent outpost. But even as he reviewed the protocols and checked the systems, his mind wandered back to Solaris Station and to Leora. He had heard rumors that she was here, leading a team of engineers to expand the colony's infrastructure. And now, standing among humans who had adapted to this alien world, he felt a mix of anticipation and apprehension. As he walked toward the main biodome, he saw her, Leora. She was standing near the central hub, examining a holographic interface, her hair tied back in a practical braid, the glow from the display highlighting her focused expression. Even after all these years, she was instantly recognizable. Her presence was a reminder of everything he had left behind and everything he had hoped to protect. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the world seemed to stop. Alex felt a rush of memories, childhood promises, shared laughter, whispered secrets, and a strange, unshakable certainty that some bonds could survive time, distance, and the void of space itself. "Alex," she said, her voice steady but tinged with surprise. "I didn't expect to see you here." "I had to come," he replied, trying to keep his emotions in check. "The mission, it's important, but so are some promises." She looked at him, a faint smile forming on her lips. "Does that promise still count?" she asked softly, echoing the words he had once spoken in jest, now filled with meaning. Alex took a step closer. "It does," he said, feeling the weight of those words settle in his chest. For a moment, the challenges of the planet, the colony, and the mission seemed to fade. They were two humans, reunited after years apart, bound by memories and a shared understanding that some connections were timeless. The reunion was brief, however. The colony had pressing needs. Resources had to be surveyed, equipment calibrated, and expansion plans finalized. Altara 9 was a harsh world, unpredictable and unforgiving. Winds strong enough to tear through unprotected habitats swept across the plains, and the native terrain shifted unpredictably, testing the limits of human engineering. Leora led Alex to the engineering bay, where teams of humans worked tirelessly to maintain the colony's delicate balance. She introduced him to her team, and Alex marveled at the ingenuity on display. Robots designed to adapt to the planet's unpredictable conditions, advanced sensors monitoring atmospheric changes, and portable energy converters that turned the planet's harsh environment into a resource for survival. "This place is amazing," Alex said quietly. "Humans really know how to survive anywhere." Leora smiled, a mix of pride and relief in her expression. "We have to. Survival here isn't just about staying alive. It's about proving that humanity can thrive, even in the most challenging conditions." As they worked side by side, repairing a damaged power relay, Alex couldn't help but notice how much Leora had grown. She was confident, capable, and fiercely intelligent. Yet, beneath her professional exterior, he sensed the same heart that had made their childhood promises meaningful. She still cared, still hoped, still believed in the impossible. Days passed, and their collaboration became a rhythm. Alex focused on planetary exploration and resource assessment, while Leora coordinated engineering and maintenance. They shared stories of their pasts, of the challenges they had faced on Solaris Station, and of the personal sacrifices that had brought them to Altara 9. Each conversation, each shared memory, strengthened the thread that connected them across years and space. But the planet had other plans. One morning, as Alex conducted a geological survey outside the dome, the sensors began to register unusual seismic activity. Rocks shifted, and a deep rumble echoed through the valley. The colony's alarms blared, signaling a potential collapse in one of the newly established outposts. Alex rushed back to the colony, his heart pounding. Leora was already coordinating emergency teams, her calm efficiency guiding everyone through the chaos. "Alex, we need to secure the habitat modules," she shouted, pointing to a failing structure that threatened the lives of dozens of colonists. Without hesitation, Alex joined her, using his knowledge of engineering and human problem-solving to stabilize the modules. Together, they led teams, improvised repairs, and relied on both technology and instinct. Machines were useful, but it was their human creativity, courage, and determination that saved the habitat from complete destruction. As the dust settled, they stood together, looking at the repaired module. Sweat streaked their faces, and dirt smeared their clothes. But there was relief in their eyes. They had faced the planet's fury and won not because the technology was perfect, but because humans were resilient, adaptable, and willing to risk everything to protect one another. That night, after the crisis, Alex and Leora found themselves alone on a balcony overlooking the green-lit plains of Altara 9. The stars above shimmered, distant and beautiful. But here on this alien world, they felt a strange closeness. "You're amazing," Alex said softly. "You always were. I don't know if I would have survived today without you." Leora looked at him, her expression serious but gentle. "And you? You've changed too. You've always been brave, but I see now. You've grown into someone who can face anything and still care about the people around you. That's what makes humans remarkable." They shared a quiet laugh, the kind that comes from shared experiences, hardships, and victories. The childhood promise lingered between them, no longer a simple vow, but a symbol of enduring connection, trust, and hope. Yet, the mission was far from over. Alex had discovered signs of a rare mineral that could revolutionize energy production for the colony. The potential was enormous, but so were the risks. Extracting the mineral would require a journey into uncharted territory, across dangerous terrain filled with unpredictable hazards. Leora looked at him, concern written clearly on her face. "You're going into that alone?" Alex shook his head. "Not alone. I want you with me. Together, we can do this. We've faced the impossible before, and we'll do it again." For a moment, hesitation flickered in her eyes. The terrain was dangerous, and the risks were real. But she knew the same truth Alex did. Humans could achieve extraordinary things when they relied on courage, intelligence, and one another. "I'll go," she said finally. "We face it together." Over the next few days, the team prepared for the expedition. The human ingenuity that had built colonies across space was on full display. Modular vehicles capable of withstanding harsh winds, portable shelters that could be deployed in minutes, and advanced scanning equipment to detect mineral deposits and hidden dangers. Every system, every plan, was designed to maximize survival while pushing the boundaries of what humans could achieve. Alex and Leora worked side by side, planning routes, checking equipment, and running simulations. The bond between them deepened with each shared task. In the quiet moments, they remembered their childhood, their shared laughter, and the promise that had brought them together again. The stars outside, vast and cold, seemed less daunting when they faced them together. Finally, the day of the expedition arrived. The team boarded their vehicles, and Alex took one last look at the colony. He thought of Solaris Station, of the home he had left behind, and of the countless humans who had dared to reach for the stars. He thought of Leora, standing beside him, fearless and determined. "Ready?" he asked, his hand brushing hers for a fleeting moment. Leora nodded, a confident smile on her face. "Let's show the universe what humans can do." And with that, they set off across the alien plains of Altara 9, driven by courage, ingenuity, and the unbreakable bond between two humans who had kept a promise across time and space. The world ahead was dangerous, full of unknown threats, but they knew one thing: humanity, when united, could face anything. And together, Alex and Leora would prove it, one daring step at a time. The winds of Altara 9 had grown stronger as Alex and Leora ventured deeper into the uncharted plains. The sky above swirled with green and purple auroras, beautiful yet unsettling, casting strange shadows across the jagged terrain. Their expedition vehicles bumped over uneven ground, sensors scanning for minerals and hidden dangers. Alex glanced at Leora, who was focused on calibrating a scanning device. Her face was calm, but he could see the determination in her eyes, the same determination that had carried humanity across the stars. "How are the readings?" he asked. "Stable for now," Leora replied. "But the terrain ahead is unstable. We need to be careful. Even a small mistake could be disastrous." He nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. The mineral they sought was rumored to be a source of energy far beyond anything humanity had created. If they succeeded, it could secure the colony's future and prove once again that humans could thrive in the harshest environments. But the planet did not give its gifts easily. Every step forward was a challenge, and survival depended on ingenuity, courage, and trust. Hours later, the team reached the edge of a deep ravine. The scanning devices beeped wildly, indicating massive deposits of the rare mineral within the jagged cliffs below. It was the discovery they had hoped for, but the path was treacherous. One wrong step could send a vehicle tumbling into the abyss. Alex parked their vehicles at a safe distance and studied the ravine. "We can rappel down and extract samples manually," he said, thinking through the options. "It's risky, but it's the only way to confirm the mineral's presence before we risk the main extraction team." Leora frowned. "It's dangerous, even for humans with advanced equipment. But I trust you. We've faced worse before, haven't we?" He gave her a small, reassuring smile. "Together, we can do this." They prepared their equipment carefully: harnesses, ropes, portable scanners, and communication devices. The human spirit was evident in every step. They had to rely on their wits, courage, and collaboration to succeed. Machines could assist, but only humans could make the split-second decisions that would determine their survival. As they began their descent, the cliffs revealed hidden dangers. Loose rocks tumbled downward with alarming speed, and the ravine's walls were sharper and more unstable than the sensors had suggested. Leora moved with precision, securing ropes and stabilizing the lines, while Alex carefully navigated the uneven surfaces. Suddenly, a tremor shook the ravine, sending a shower of rocks tumbling toward them. Alex's heart raced. "Hold on," he shouted, anchoring himself to the cliff face. Leora reacted quickly, using her knowledge of physics and human reflexes to redirect the rope lines and protect both of them. For a moment, it seemed hopeless. The natural forces of the planet were overwhelming, and the risk of falling was real. But humanity's ingenuity shone through. Alex adjusted the rope pulleys, using a technique he had learned on Solaris Station years ago. Leora reinforced the makeshift anchors with portable supports. Bit by bit, they stabilized their position, demonstrating the unique human ability to adapt under pressure. When the dust settled, they paused to catch their breath. "Humans really are remarkable," Alex said, his voice shaking slightly but full of awe. "No matter how dangerous, we always find a way." Leora nodded, her eyes reflecting the aurora above. "It's not just the technology or the equipment. It's us. Our courage, our thinking, our determination. That's what makes us survive where others might fail." They reached the mineral deposits just as another tremor hit. This time, a portion of the cliff collapsed, sending debris cascading toward them. Alex grabbed a falling rock and pushed it aside with his strength, while Leora used a portable energy shield to protect their path. Every action had to be precise, every decision immediate. Failure was not an option, not just for themselves, but for the colony and the future of human life on Altara 9. At the bottom, they finally reached the mineral veins. The scanners confirmed what they had hoped for: vast quantities of the rare mineral, more than enough to power the colony indefinitely. Relief surged through them, but there was no time to celebrate. The planet was still unstable, and extraction required care. They began the delicate process of gathering samples, using advanced tools to minimize risk. Every motion had to be calculated, every step coordinated. They were a team, each complementing the other's skills. Alex's strategic thinking paired with Leora's technical expertise, creating a synergy that allowed humans to succeed where nature seemed intent on stopping them. Hours passed, and the team was ready to ascend. But then came the crisis. A massive landslide, triggered by the tremors, blocked their path upward. The rocks created a wall too high to climb, and debris threatened to crush the vehicles and equipment waiting above. Alex assessed the situation. "We have two options," he said grimly. "We can try to climb the debris, which is risky, or we can find an alternate path that may take hours and might not even exist." Leora's face was tense, but her voice was steady. "We have a choice: save ourselves and the mission, or risk everything for the colony's future. What do you think?" Alex looked at the mineral deposits, then at the destroyed path, then back at her. "Humans are brave, Leora. We don't give up when things get hard. We find a way. Let's do this together. 4. An S. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. They set to work immediately. Using a combination of ropes, portable supports, and human ingenuity, they constructed a makeshift passage over the debris. Every move required coordination, precision, and courage. A single mistake could mean disaster, yet they pressed on, relying on their skills and trust in each other. The hours stretched endlessly, testing both physical and mental limits. Sweat poured down their faces. Muscles ached, and the alien winds tried to throw them off balance. Yet, their determination never wavered. Humans had survived harsh worlds before, and they would survive this one. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached the top of the debris. Exhausted, but triumphant, they looked back at the treacherous path they had conquered. The mineral deposits were secured, and the future of the colony was guaranteed. Leora turned to Alex, her expression a mixture of relief and admiration. "We did it. Humans really can do anything when we work together." Alex nodded, feeling the truth of her words in his heart. "And we'll keep doing it. No matter the challenges, no matter the dangers, we'll always find a way." That night, they set up a temporary camp near the mineral site. The auroras danced across the sky, a reminder of the beauty and danger of the universe. Alex and Leora sat by a small portable fire, reflecting on what they had accomplished. "You know," Alex said, breaking the silence, "when we made that promise as kids, I never imagined we'd end up here, on an alien world, facing landslides and storms, and still keeping that promise alive." Leora smiled softly. "Promises aren't just words, they're connections. They give us strength, even in the darkest moments. And you've kept your part." For a moment, there was no fear, no danger, only the quiet comfort of trust and shared history. They had faced the impossible together, relying on human ingenuity and courage, and emerged stronger. The bond between them had survived the test of time, space, and challenge. Yet, even as they rested, the reality of the planet loomed. More dangers awaited, more challenges to test human resilience. But Alex and Leora knew that together they could face whatever came next. The mission was far from over, but their triumph here was proof. Humanity, when united, could overcome even the harshest trials. As dawn approached, the first light of Altara 9 revealed the vast, alien plains, stretching endlessly. Alex and Leora packed their findings, ready to return to the colony. The mineral samples would secure the colony's future, and their journey had proven that human courage, ingenuity, and determination could conquer even the most dangerous worlds. And as they set off, side by side. Alex couldn't help but think of Solaris Station, of the promise he had made, and of the human spirit that had carried them this far. Together, they would face the final challenge, proving once again that humans could survive, thrive, and triumph, even against the odds of an alien universe. The descent back to the colony should have been routine. With mineral samples secured and data recorded, Alex and Leora felt a surge of confidence. After the landslide and the treacherous climbs, they believed nothing could surprise them. But Altara 9 had a way of reminding humans how small they truly were. The moment they stepped into the shuttle, a low rumble shook the ground. The auroras in the sky flickered violently, and the atmosphere outside the dome shimmered with sudden intensity. Their sensors went haywire. Leora's brow furrowed. "Seismic activity," she said, her voice tense. "It's coming from the northern cliffs. It looks bigger than anything we've seen before." Alex nodded, gripping the controls. "We need to get out of here fast. That mineral deposit isn't worth risking lives over if the planet decides to collapse on us." The shuttle lifted, engines roaring against the alien wind. They flew over jagged plains, dodging falling rocks and sudden tremors that threatened to throw them off course. The danger was immediate, yet humans always rose to meet impossible odds. It was ingenuity, courage, and relentless determination that kept them moving forward. From the observation window, Leora saw the northern cliffs breaking apart. Massive chunks of rock tumbled into the ravine, creating cascading landslides that echoed across the plains. "Alex," she shouted over the roar of the engines, "we need a plan, now." Alex's mind raced. "We can't go back the way we came, too risky. There's a narrow valley to the east. We can navigate through it. But we'll have to be precise. One mistake and..." He trailed off, the unspoken consequence hanging in the air. Leora gripped his arm. "We can do this. We've faced worse before, haven't we?" Alex smiled, the same spark of confidence that had carried him through every challenge shining in his eyes. "Yes. Together. Rees of leader. Honest gone. Rees of leader. And leader." The eastern valley was narrow, flanked by cliffs on both sides. The shuttle's sensors detected weak spots in the terrain, shifting rocks, and sudden crevices forming in the ground. Every second mattered. Alex maneuvered the shuttle with careful precision, and Leora monitored the terrain, guiding him through the treacherous path. The shuttle shuddered as loose rocks bounced against the hull. Dust and debris swirled around them like a storm. Leora's fingers flew over the controls, recalibrating sensors to keep them aware of every sudden change. This was not just a test of technology, it was a test of human courage, decision-making, and instinct. For a moment, the shuttle tilted dangerously over a gaping chasm. Alex's heart raced. He remembered Solaris Station, the promise, and the years that had brought him here. "We survive because we are human," he thought. "We adapt, we think, we act." With a deft maneuver, he stabilized the shuttle, and together they navigated through the valley. Each second was a victory, each obstacle a reminder that humans, even in the face of alien forces, could rise above. As they emerged from the valley, the view of the colony came into focus. The biodomes glimmered under the faint light of Altara 9's twin suns. Safe, for now. But something else caught their attention. A distant plume of dust rose from the western plains. The colony's automated sensors confirmed their fear. A massive landslide was headed toward the main outpost. Alex and Leora exchanged a quick glance. "We have to warn them," Alex said, "and help them prepare. There's no time." Using the shuttle's communications array, they sent emergency alerts to the colony. Engineers scrambled, automated defenses activated, and humans moved with precision and urgency. Every life depended on split-second decisions, collaboration, and ingenuity. Alex and Leora landed at a safe distance and ran toward the colony's emergency center. The planet's fury tested every human skill they had honed over years: physics knowledge, engineering expertise, tactical thinking, and above all, courage. Together, they coordinated evacuation routes, reinforced shelters, and guided colonists to safety. The landslide hit with the force of a small earthquake. Dust and rocks tore through parts of the outpost, crushing equipment and infrastructure. But thanks to the combined efforts of the humans led by Alex and Leora, the majority of the colony was safe. Families, scientists, and engineers huddled in reinforced shelters, watching in awe as humans outsmarted the planet's fury. In the chaos, Alex and Leora worked side by side. A broken support beam threatened to collapse, a dome housing vital supplies. Alex grabbed it, bracing against the weight, while Leora used a portable energy shield to stabilize it temporarily. Together, they managed to save the dome. Breathing heavily, Leora looked at Alex. "We really can do anything when we work together," she said. Alex smiled, wiping dust from his brow. "We are humans," he said. "Clever, brave, unstoppable, when we refuse to give up." As night fell on Altara 9, the colony was battered but intact. Fires were extinguished, shelters secured, and the landslide had passed. Alex and Leora stood on a ridge overlooking the plains, the auroras reflecting their triumph. The mineral deposits were safe, the colony was secure, and humanity had once again proven that it could survive and thrive against impossible odds. Alex turned to Leora, the memory of their childhood promise clear in his mind. "We made it," he said quietly. "Through everything, we kept going. And I want to keep my promise too." Leora's eyes softened. A mixture of relief, pride, and emotion. "I've waited a long time for this," she whispered. "And I believe some promises are meant to last forever." In that moment, the dangers of the planet, the storms, and the challenges seemed insignificant. Two humans, bound by trust, courage, and an unbreakable bond, stood victorious. Their love, friendship, and promise had survived the test of time, space, and adversity. The next morning, the colony celebrated. Scientists and engineers marveled at the mineral samples Alex and Leora had secured. The energy potential was enormous, enough to expand the colony, power new terraforming efforts, and ensure humanity's survival on Altara 9 for generations. Children ran through the halls of the biodomes, laughter echoing like a reminder of why humans persevered in the first place. Alex and Leora walked through the colony hand in hand, marveling at the results of their combined efforts. They had faced the alien planet's fury, survived landslides, and overcome unimaginable challenges. And through it all, they had honored a promise made long ago, proving that human bonds could endure even the harshest conditions. "We did it," Alex said, looking at the thriving colony. "Humans really are something else. No matter the danger, no matter the unknown, we keep going. We survive. We thrive." Leora smiled. "And we do it together. That's what makes us strong. That's what makes us human." Weeks later, the colony had stabilized. New structures had been built, and the mineral had been fully extracted. Alex and Leora finally found a quiet moment together on the observation balcony of the central biodome. The twin suns of Altara 9 bathed the plains in golden light, and the auroras danced faintly on the horizon. Alex took Leora's hand. "I promised you as a child," he said, "and I promise again, now and always. No matter where we go, no matter what challenges we face, I'll keep you in my life. I'll keep our promise." Tears shimmered in Leora's eyes, a mixture of happiness and relief. "And together, we can face anything. Together, we'll keep humanity thriving and proving that we are unstoppable." They watched the stars above, thinking of Solaris Station, their childhood memories, and the journey that had brought them here. Humanity had survived against impossible odds, thrived on a dangerous alien world, and their bond had proven that human courage, ingenuity, and love could withstand even the universe itself. The future stretched before them, vast and unknown, but they knew they would face it together. Humans had built colonies among the stars, conquered challenges, and turned promises into realities. Alex and Leora were living proof that even in the cold, indifferent universe, human spirit shone brighter than any star. And as they stood hand in hand, looking at the thriving colony and the endless skies beyond, the promise they had made as children was no longer a memory. It was a living testament to humanity's resilience, ingenuity, and enduring heart. Humans could survive, humans could thrive, and humans, when united by courage, intelligence, and bonds that transcended time, could conquer even the most unforgiving worlds.